Ingredients like apple extract, biotin, and millet. Hair Volume nourishes your hair follicles to promote thicker, healthier looking hair. Say goodbye to shedding, thin, and dull hair, and hello to thick, healthy hair with Hair Volume.
Since taking Hair Volume, the shedding has all but stopped.
Now, instead of being jealous of other women's hair, I have friends who are jealous of mine.
My hairdresser couldn't believe the difference in my hair. Now she's using Hair Volume too.
Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com, or find Hair Volume in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Hurricane Erin, a Category 4 barreling north in the Atlantic, lashing Puerto Rico earlier. Forecasters say that storm will not hit the East Coast, but dangerous surf and riptides are a threat. Here's ABC News Chief Meteorologist Ginger Zee.
What we anticipate is big-time waves. Waves, we're talking 8 to 12 feet all along the coast, not just in South and North Carolina, but up through Long Island, New Jersey, but also those rip currents. On top of it all, I can't emphasize enough, overwash in the Outer Banks, or that erosion, also an issue.
President Trump in a social media post says he plans to lead a movement to get rid of mail-in ballots and falsely claiming that mail-in ballots lead to voter fraud. The president says it will begin by him issuing an executive order. ABC's Catherine Faulders has more.
The reality is states run their elections, and whatever Trump does to try and change that will surely be challenged in court. I'm sure that's something that will be litigated. Of course, he might try and pressure various Secretary of States or various different states to change their laws. We'll ultimately have to see how this plays out. This is very preliminary, it seems. He's just posting this on his social media platform saying this is something he's going to do. He hasn't done it yet.
In a statement this afternoon, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer called President Trump's latest comments on mail-in voting not based in fact or reality. President Trump has also used vote by mail to cast his ballots in elections. Michelle Franson, ABC News.
This is the Newsradio KONP Noon Report.
Todd Ortloff in the KONP News Center. Here's a look at what's happening on this Monday, August 18th. Washington Governor Bob Ferguson is pushing back after U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi issued a warning over the state's sanctuary policies, demanding compliance with federal immigration enforcement. In an August 13th letter, Bondi notified Ferguson that Washington has been designated a sanctuary jurisdiction, accusing the state of obstructing federal immigration efforts and giving undocumented immigrants cover to commit crimes and avoid legal consequences. This ends now, Bondi wrote, warning that jurisdictions failing to comply could face criminal charges and risk losing federal grants, contracts, and funding. The letter gives Ferguson until tomorrow to confirm Washington's commitment to federal law and outline steps to eliminate any policies that hinder immigration enforcement. Ferguson said Saturday that the state will not change its approach, citing the 2019 Keep Washington Working Act, which restricts local law enforcement from sharing personal information or collecting immigration status in non-criminal cases. He said the law enhances public safety by allowing local agencies to focus on criminal enforcement, not civil immigration matters. A formal response from Ferguson is expected sometime tomorrow. A helicopter crashed today at Skagit Regional Airport in Burlington, injuring 2 people. The Robinson R-44 helicopter went down about 10 a.m., that according to Como News. Both passengers were transported to Skagit Regional Hospital with injuries. The Burlington Fire District Number 6, Skagit County Sheriff's Office, and the Port of Skagit Emergency Response Team all responded to the crash. The FAA and the NTSB are now investigating. Well, drivers using Highway 101 on the east side of Port Angeles should plan for some night lane closures this week and next week. That is, construction crews set girders for new bridges at Lee's and Ennis Creeks. From 7 p.m. Tuesday through Thursday this week, 1 lane in each direction will be closed between Brook Avenue and Baker Street until 7 a.m. the following morning. Then next week, beginning Monday the 25th through Thursday, August 28th, the lane closures will shift between North Baker Street and Delguzzi Drive, again lasting 7 p.m. until 7 a.m. the next morning. The work is part of the State Department of Transportation's Fish Barrier Removal Project. Contractor crews will set girders, which will serve as the backbone for the first half of the new bridges. Once in place, crews will build out the rest of the structures. The first halves of both bridges are expected to be finished this fall. That's when traffic will be shifted onto them while work begins on the second half of the bridges. A 58-year-old Squim man is in custody after allegedly firing at a Washington State Patrol trooper and another driver earlier this month. Sean Johnson was arrested August 6th in Lewiston following a high-risk traffic stop by Idaho State Patrol. He was booked into the Nez Perce County Jail the next day on an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon charge, with bail set at $500,000. A hearing to review the mental evaluation in the case is scheduled for August 29th. Now, trooper said Johnson, driving a white 2020 GMC Sierra, was reported waving a handgun out of his sunroof while traveling south on U.S. Highway 95. Witnesses said shots were fired in Whitman County and at another driver on Lewiston Hill. He also allegedly fired toward a state trooper before entering into the state of Idaho. No injuries reported, but Johnson may face some additional charges here in Washington State. More news after this. Whether you're a homeowner, investor, or first time buyer, understanding our market is essential. Here to provide a little insight on the local real estate market is Maygraves.
As always, thank you, Todd. This is your monthly market minute for July 2025. In Port Angeles, we sold 38 homes. Median days on market just 30.
This afternoon on the Todd Ortloff Show, Clallam County Prosecutor Mark Nichols talks therapeutic courts, a recent mental health court graduation, and how bail is determined. Plus, Esquimalt Rib Fest. Tom Woods previews the big weekend there, and Peter Mill invites you to the all-community Elks Party at Elks Playfield.
Join us at 1 o'clock Monday through Thursday for the Todd Ortloff Show on KONP. Information to keep you engaged in your community with the people and organizations who keep it running. Sponsored by Dan Shappy, Farmers Insurance.
And some other news, let's check in with Sandy Keys and his weekend wrap-up next.
In a minor way, clusters of activities revived a bit. That started early Saturday morning with the report of an abandoned vehicle on Squim Avenue, and then just 90 minutes later, an abandoned vehicle was reported on Park Avenue. Half an hour after that, the same was mentioned along Squim's Woods Road. Then another cluster. We had 20 traffic stops the first 13 hours of Friday, and then a cluster of 16 more in the next 90 minutes. Grand total, more than 55 over Friday and Saturday. That brings us to a possible record low of only 2 vehicle accidents mentioned as of yesterday morning. One on Railroad Avenue, Port Angeles, Friday afternoon, and Port Williams Road, Squim, 12:45 Saturday afternoon. A third was mentioned, but it was at Old Oak Bay Road in Hadlock. The 2 known suicide attempts or threats were widely separated. The first was responded to midday Friday in Squim. The second was Saturday evening in CQ. 10 disturbances were investigated, plus a fireworks complaint at Atterbury Road. It might have gone unreported if it hadn't gone off at 1:12 yesterday morning, the area's prime sleeping time. There were burglaries in the 1400 block of East 1st, 2000 block of West 4th, and 800 block of East Willow. The weekend's 5 known thefts included a vehicle theft near 271,020 Highway 101. There were no domestic violence reports or harassment reports or even threats. But making up for that, was the assault category. 4 of them, starting with one at a Burnt Mountain Road address in Beaver. The second assault in just a moment. The third was in Sequim, and the final assault, number 4, Saturday night in the 1600 block of West 16th. It was very easy for police to find. It was an encore performance. They'd already been there, the same address, regarding assault again, exactly 24 hours to the minute earlier. Sandy Keys, KONP Local News.
The Bear Gulch fire burning in Olympic National Forest near Hoodsport has ballooned to more than 8,400 acres. Containment still at just 3%. The fire first reported July 6th, burning in heavy down timber on steep rocky slopes near the Mount Rose Trailhead and Lake Cushman corridor. Despite recent rainfall of more than an inch, the blaze continued to creep and smolder, posing ongoing challenges. Evacuations are still in effect in Mason County from the sheriff's office there. Crews have been focusing on protecting the Staircase, Copper Creek, and Dry Creek areas, while helicopters conduct bucket drops trying to slow the spread near Mount Rose and No Name Creek. A major rescue operation saved 12 kayakers, including 6 children, after they were caught in high winds and strong currents last Thursday in the Salish Sea north of Orcas Island. The U.S. Coast Guard launched a 29-foot rescue boat out of Bellingham after getting a distress call via VHF radio at about 2 p.m. A state parks vessel and a Canadian shipwrighter crew with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police also responded. All 12 kayakers were safely taken to Orcas Island and no injuries were reported. Officials credit the VHF radio for enabling the rescue in an area that had no cell phone coverage. This is Newsradio KONP. Whether you're a homeowner, investor, or first-time buyer, understanding our market is essential. Here to provide a little insight on the local real estate market is May Graves.
As always, thank you, Todd. This is your monthly market minute for July 2025. In Port Angeles, we sold 38 homes. Median days on market, just 13. Median home price, $438,000, which is down from the previous month. 10 of the 38 homes sold for full price or more, and 9 of the 38 homes sold to cash buyers. Here we go for Sequim. We sold 61 homes. Median days on market, 28, which is way up. Median home price, $560,000, which is down a bit from the previous month. 24 of the 61 homes sold for full price or more. 19 of the 61 homes sold to cash buyers. If you want more information, call me. It's May Graves, 360-461-1922.
Losing a loved one is overwhelming. Your mind and your heart shut down. That's where Drennan & Ford Funeral Home and Crematory comes in. They took the burden off my family's shoulders and guided us through everything we needed to do. No pushy sales tactics or unanswered questions. They just held our hands and took care of everything we asked. That's why I will always recommend Drennan & Ford for end-of-life decisions. They handle the hurt like no one else can. Call 360-457-1210.
You may have seen on the news, gold and silver are at an all-time high. Ever wonder what your old jewelry and coin collections are worth? Come see me at American Rare Coin and Gold in Sequim. We can all use a little extra money, right? Here at American Rare Coin, we love to buy gold and silver and provide you the best prices. American Rare Coin and Gold, 338 West Washington in Sequim, or call 360-968-4943. 360-968-4943.
Come out to Olympic Game Farm, it's the home of the waving bears. Come out to Olympic Game Farm for some tender love and care. Now it's not impolite to stick out your tongue, considering the critters you'll be among. Come out to Olympic Game Farm, it's the home of the waving bears. The llama and the yak know you wanna come back, and the tiger always gets a few stares. Come out to Olympic Game Farm, it's the home of the waving bears.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast, brought to you by All Weather Heating and Cooling. Daytime highs approaching 65 this afternoon under overcast skies with a slight chance for rain. Winds out of the northeast around 5 miles per hour. Cloudy skies expected again tonight. Lows level off around 54. Slight chance for rain tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 65, overcast skies. Mid-60s Wednesday, warmer on Thursday with highs in the upper 60s. Take a look at the extended forecast. 73 Friday, 73 Saturday, and 70 on Sunday. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently 64.
Starting over from scratch. Good morning, I'm Jay Reynolds. Brewers rallied again yesterday, but in the end came up short. A 10-inning loss in Cincinnati.
Pitch. Rip. That's a base hit down the left field line. The Reds have come off the mat, and they have finally beaten the Brewers. A 3-2 final score, and they will mob Austin Hayes at first base.
700 WLW. Reds avoid the sweep. They've yet to be swept this season. 40 consecutive series. As for Milwaukee, the Brewers' 14-game win streak comes to an end. First loss in the month of August. Dodgers beat the Padres 5-4. Mookie Betts go-ahead homer in the 8th. LA is now up 2 games on San Diego in the NL West. Marlins get a pair of homers to take the lead in the 9th at Fenway. They beat the Red Sox 5-3. In Williamsport, Cal Raleigh hits his Major League leading 47th homer, but the Mariners lose to the Mets 7-3. Speaking of homers, a first for the Twins.
Breaking ball to Brooks, and he hits it high in the air. Deep right field. Does it have the distance? It does! The first grand slam of the year for the Minnesota Twins.
Treasure Island baseball, Royals, Rangers, Cardinals, the only teams left without a grand slam. Yankees score 4 in the 9th and beat the Cardinals 8-4. Rangers score double digits to beat Toronto 10-4. Royals top the White Sox 6-2. The Orioles shut out the Astros 12-0. Football, Trevor Lawrence plays the first 2 drives for the Jaguars against the Saints, completes 8 of 10, has a touchdown pass. Caleb Williams also with a TD pass in his 2 series against the Bills. WNBA Aces hitting 18 threes. They beat Dallas 106-87, their 7th consecutive win. Fever trailed by as much as 21. They rally to beat Connecticut in overtime. Scotty Scheffler rallies from 4 shots back Sunday, wins the BMW Championship.
Seattle Mariners try to get back into the winning ways after dropping 2 in a row to the New York Mets, losing again last night in that Little League Classic game. And they move on to Philadelphia for a 3-game set there against the Phillies, and we take the air this afternoon at 2:30 here on KONP. Mariner Baseball brought to you all season long locally by Leeds Farm Supply and Equipment Sales.
Miss, your burger is served.
Thank you.
And if I may suggest a pairing, this is our finest Pepsi Zero Sugar. The sweetness of Pepsi perfectly balances the savory notes of your burger, while the citrus and carbonation elevates the taste for a truly stunning flavor profile. Bon appetit.
Now that is one perfect combination. If this is how the other half lives, I could get used to this. Burgers deserve Pepsi.
This is Trevor Shumway from Firehouse Grill. We have some great news. We're dropping prices on our most popular items and not dropping quality. We're stubborn in wanting to provide the best quality possible. We hand weigh and hand smash our burgers daily, marinating our chicken in-house and hand breaded per order, hand scooping every shake ordered. And have you tried our smash burgers yet? One of the best things we've done at Firehouse Grill. I won't compromise on quality ever. Come check us out. Firehouse Grill Burgers and Fries on 8th Street.
Newsradio KONP Business.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Wegovy, the weight loss drug, winning U.S. approval to treat a serious form of liver disease. Meantime, its maker, the Danish drug maker Novo Nordisk, is slashing the cost of its sister weight loss drug Ozempic for patients in the U.S. who pay with cash. That's after it got hammered for costing way too much. Now you can get it for $499 a month, half its former U.S. list price. You got to get it through Novo's cash pay pharmacy NovoCare. It's also partnering with GoodRx to offer Ozempic and Wegovy for that same price at U.S. pharmacies. A lackluster start to the new week on Wall Street, at least until we hear more about what's going on in that White House meeting between President Trump and Ukraine's President Zelensky and other European leaders. Right now, the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P are all pretty much flat on the session. And shares of Intel down 4% on word the Trump administration is in discussions about taking a 10% stake in the struggling chip maker, making Uncle Sam its largest shareholder. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
Let's get a check at the roads next.
At McCrory Carpet One, they know how important it is to feel confident in your flooring selection. You want to know it's going to look exactly the way you want it once it's installed in your home. That's why they offer their one-of-a-kind guarantee, making sure you're 100% happy that the floor you've created together is as beautiful as the one in your dreams. If not, they'll replace it for free. That's what they call the Beautiful Guarantee. Peace of mind is yours with every installation. Always priced right, always done right. McCrory Carpet One.
Growing your family is an exciting journey, and the labor and delivery team at Olympic Medical Center is here to walk it with you. Our team tailors your birthing experience with you, offering the choice and security you're looking for from the comfort of OMC's Birth Center. Learn more about OMC's team of obstetricians, nurse midwives, RNs, lactation consultants, and more at olympicmedical.org/Stork Squad.
News Radio KONP, traffic and roads.
Up to Clallam Transit Dispatch Center we go. Steve's got an eye on things for us on the roads this Monday afternoon. Good afternoon, Steve.
Hi there. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, kind of a busy afternoon. If you are out in the Port Angeles or Sequim area right now, you'll find a lot of traffic right now headed through town. Pretty steady all the way through. A little bit below the speed limit, some delays at the lights, so just be prepared. A lot of traffic out there. Highway 101 between the two cities is in pretty good shape. Slow going through our construction area at Lees Creek and Baker Dip. But other than that, traffic is moving along relatively smoothly. Just a lot of it out there right now. If you're headed any further, Hood Canal Bridge has a scheduled opening here at about 12:45, I believe, for marine traffic, but state ferries are running on time today. If you're headed out to the west end, we're in good shape all the way out to the Forks area. Still light traffic, light to moderate out there. It is moving along at the speed limit. So everybody take care. Be safe out there this afternoon. This is Steve reporting live from Clallam Transit for KONP.
Thank you, Steve. Your weather forecast calls for some sunshine peeking through this afternoon and a slight chance of rain then late this afternoon, mid-60s to low 70s for your highs. Cloudy tonight and tomorrow with a slight chance of rain and highs in the mid-60s. Then we clear out for Wednesday and right through the next weekend. In fact, for the next week after that, we'll have sunshine and highs in the mid-70s. So summer makes a return. Right now across the peninsula, Port Townsend's at 65, 69 now in Sequim, and it's 64 out at Fairchild Airport here in Port Angeles. All right, if your name is easy to pronounce, people will favor you more. Researchers at New York University found that people with easier to pronounce names often have higher status positions at work. One of the psychologists explains, quote, "When we can process a piece of information more easily, when it's easier to comprehend, we come to like it more." So if your name is common, you are more likely to be hired. Researchers at Marquette University found evidence to suggest that names that people with the common names were more likely to be hired, and those with rare names were actually least likely to be hired.
Better Life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
Around the world, more than 60 million people are living with AFib, or atrial fibrillation. That's an irregular and often rapid heartbeat. Now, AFib can put you at greater risk for a heart attack, stroke, and early death. There are treatments, but what if I told you there was something pretty simple that you could do to lower your risk of AFib and other heart rhythm abnormalities as well? Well, according to this new study out of Scotland, all you need to do is go for a brisk walk. The great thing about walking is that it is accessible to everyone. You don't need to spend money going to a gym. You don't need to buy equipment. Just walk out of your front door and you keep going. Why does it work? Well, researchers found a lot of the benefit was due to the fact that walking faster seems to reduce cholesterol, glucose, and your blood pressure. It also makes you less likely to put on weight, and all those things can decrease your risk of AFib. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
William is one of millions of Americans who uses GoodRx to save on the cost of their prescriptions.
My oldest daughter, Camilla, 2 days old, she had to have open heart surgery. All of a sudden, she's on 5 different medications. It adds up at the end of the month. Me and the pharmacist got so tight. She said, GoodRx save you a lot of money. Saving that extra $200-300 a month. We're able to do all these extra activities, so it puts less stress on our household, and it puts less stress on our pockets.
Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com and start saving today. GoodRx user compensated for their time. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. But wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hello, I'm Jerry Stewart, and this is One Moment in America. We've all heard the saying, birds of a feather flock together. But what does that really mean? I'll tell you the story after this important message. Hello, I'm Jerry Stewart. It's been over 20 years now since I started doing my radio programs. How did I get the idea to start it? 2 reasons. First, to remind us all where we've come from and our duty to make our great America even greater. My second reason, some in our nation today are trying hard to rewrite history with lies and half-truths, and that's wrong. Want to hear 70 of my favorite true stories on one CD? Call me now at 817-995-4607 and place your order. Or you can go online at www.jerrystewartusa.com. And the cost? Just $19.95 plus $6 shipping and handling, a total of $25.95. Place your order now, and I'll include with it my book, Saving America, at no additional charge. So call now at 817-995-4607 or go online at www.jerrystewartusa.com. Give us a call. Until then, tell the truth. God bless you. Does it make any difference who we associate with in our lives? Should we be concerned who we or our children hang around with? George Washington says yes. When he was still just a young boy, here's what he said about picking our relationships. He said, associate yourself with men of good quality if you esteem your own reputation, for 'tis better to be alone than in bad company. And what happens when you hang around in bad company? Well, you become birds of the same feather. Your reputation is damaged, and worse yet, you may become like that person. Think about it. I'm Jerry Stewart, and that was One Moment in America.
Campfires, road trips, late night stories, and early morning hikes. During RV Country's Labor Day sales event, your next adventure is waiting for you. Choose from a huge selection of new and used RVs perfect for families big or small. Trade in your old RV, get easy on-the-spot financing, and check out our Labor Day deals. Like this 2025 Odyssey for $568 a month, or this 2025 Little Buggy for $172 a month. The adventure of a lifetime is waiting for you at all RV Country locations.
Hi everyone, it's Leslie Robertson from the Port Angeles Chamber, and I want to tell you about a great opportunity to support our local area. Would you like to meet people from all over the world? Do you like the chance to brag about this beautiful place we live? The Port Angeles Visitor Center is looking for volunteers to help people seeking advice, information, and recommendations when they come to visit our delightful town. Visitor Center shifts are short, the schedule is easy, and very flexible. Whether you want a regular day or you'd like to fill in as needed, we will make it work for you. Knowledge about the area is a plus, but don't worry, we'll train you. It's a great chance to meet new people, make new friends, and get to know the great group of volunteers we already have working at the Visitor Center. You'll be glad you did. If you're interested, email info@portangeles.org or call the Visitor Center at 360-452-2363. Or you can find more information on our website, portangeles.org.
Don't miss History at the Hub, Friday, August 22nd from 4 to 8 p.m. A fundraiser for the North Olympic History Center. You'll enjoy drinks, light refreshments, and live music. Come make your own block print with a selection of historic newspapers. A silent auction offers items from vintage collectibles, clothing, artwork, jewelry, and area experiences. Benefiting the NOHC, History at the Hub is Friday, August 22nd, 4 to 8 p.m. at the Hub in downtown Port Angeles.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm John Scott. Church leaders and parents' rights groups throughout California are gearing up for a massive effort tomorrow aimed at derailing State Assembly Bill 495. It's being called a child trafficker's dream because it allows strangers to remove children from public schools or daycare centers without their parents' permission. Karen England, president of the Capital Resource Institute in California, says every parent in America should be concerned.
Well, on the 19th, we're having a big rally, press conference, and lobby day where we're hoping thousands of citizens come and send them out to lobby the senators to oppose this bill. This bill has been flying under the radar, and so we need to stop this bill because it goes to the Senate floor, and if it passes, it goes straight to the Governor Gavin Newsom. So we have to stop it on the 19th.
More information on AB 495 can be be found on the website realimpact.us. President Trump welcomed Ukrainian President Zelensky back to the White House in a bid to end the Russia-Ukraine war. White House correspondent Greg Clugston has the report.
Sitting side by side in the Oval Office, the two presidents expressed hope that White House talks, which include European leaders, could lead to a future three-way meeting with Russia's Vladimir Putin.
If everything works out well today, we'll have a trilat, and I think there will be a reasonable chance of ending the war when we do that.
Donald Trump also said he supports European security guarantees for Ukraine, though he stopped short of committing U.S. troops to the effort. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Flights in and out of Reagan National Airport in the Washington, D.C. area have resumed. A fire alarm in the control tower earlier halted all traffic. There was no fire. On Wall Street, stocks are mixed. The Dow is down 39, the NASDAQ up 6. More at townhall.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-226-5454. That's 800-226-5454. 800-226-5454.
Israeli protesters who are demanding a deal to free hostages in Gaza have attempted to shut down the country in one of the largest and fiercest protests in 22 months of war.
To end the deaths and intense strain on national alliance.
Or MS Now for short. MSNBC has been building a separate news division from NBC News by hiring new reporters in recent months. Well, it's never too late.
Was checked out from the San Antonio Public Library. It came with a letter saying, quote, Grandma won't be able to pay for it anymore. Overdue fines back then were 3 cents.
.com.
This is the Newsradio KONP Noon Report.
John Ortloff in the KONP News Center. Here's a look at what's happening on this Monday, August 18th. Washington Governor Bob Ferguson is pushing back after U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi issued a warning over the state's sanctuary policies, demanding compliance with federal immigration enforcement. In an August 13th letter, Bondi notified Ferguson that Washington has been designated a sanctuary jurisdiction, accusing the state of obstructing federal immigration efforts and giving undocumented immigrants cover to commit crimes and avoid legal consequences. This ends now, Bondi wrote, warning that jurisdictions failing to comply could face criminal charges and risk losing federal grants, contracts, and funding. The letter gives Ferguson until tomorrow to confirm Washington's commitment to federal law and outline steps to eliminate any policies that hinder immigration enforcement. Ferguson said Saturday that the state will not change its approach, citing the 2019 Keep Washington Working Act, which restricts local law enforcement from sharing personal information or collecting immigration status in non-criminal cases. He said the law enhances public safety by allowing local agencies to focus on criminal enforcement, not civil immigration matters. A formal response from Ferguson is expected sometime tomorrow. A helicopter crashed today at Skagit Regional Airport in Burlington, injuring 2 people. The Robinson R-44 helicopter went down about 10 a.m., that according to Como News. Both passengers were transported to Skagit Regional Hospital with injuries. The Burlington Fire District No. 6, Skagit County Sheriff's Office, and the Port of Skagit Emergency Response Team all responded to the crash. The FAA and the NTSB are now investigating. Well, drivers using Highway 101 on the east side of Port Angeles should plan for some night lane closures this week and next week. That is, construction crews set girders for new bridges at Lee's and Ennis Creeks. From 7 p.m. Tuesday through Thursday this week, one lane in each direction will be closed between Brook Avenue and Baker Street until 7 a.m. the following morning. Then next week, beginning Monday the 25th through Thursday, August 28th, the lane closures will shift between North Baker Street and Delguzzi Drive, again lasting 7 p.m. until 7 a.m. the next morning. The work is part of the State Department of Transportation's Fish Barrier Removal Project. Contractor crews will set girders, which will serve as the backbone for the first half of the new bridges. Once in place, crews will build out the rest of the structures. The first halves of both bridges are expected to be finished this fall. That's when traffic will be shifted onto them while work begins on the second half of the bridges. A 58-year-old Squim man is in custody after allegedly firing at a Washington State Patrol trooper and another driver earlier this month. Sean Johnson was arrested August 6th in Lewiston following a high-risk traffic stop by Idaho State Patrol. He was booked into the Nez Perce County Jail the next day on an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon charge with bail set at $500,000. A hearing to review the mental evaluation in the case is scheduled for August 29th. Now, trooper said Johnson, driving a white 2020 GMC Sierra, was reported waving a handgun out of his sunroof while traveling south on U.S. Highway 95. Witnesses said shots were fired in Whitman County and at another driver on Lewiston Hill. He also allegedly fired toward a state trooper before entering into the state of Idaho. No injuries reported, but Johnson may face some additional charges here in Washington State. More news after this.
At Jim's Pharmacy, in addition to your pharmaceutical needs, you'll also find diabetes self-management education. Sandy Sinnis, our diabetes educator, who has completed advanced training in diabetes and has been a certified educator for over 50 years, along with our newly certified diabetes educator, Patricia Sagadiv, who has also been a pharmacist for over 25 years, will guide you through 10 hours of professional, personal, and hands-on training in a 4-part series. Find out more information about diabetes self-management education, only at Jim's Pharmacy.
Your community-minded friends at First Fed bring you the Community Corner, highlighting good things happening right here in our area.
On Friday, August 22nd, the North Olympic History Center invites you to the History at the Hub fundraiser event in downtown Port Angeles. There'll be drinks, light refreshments, live music, a silent auction, and fun activities, including a make-your-own block print station using historic newspapers to make your own personalized art. History at the Hub is August 22nd, 4 to 8 p.m. at the Hub, Lincoln and Front, downtown PA. And on Saturday, August 23rd, the Port Angeles Elks Community Party in the Park event at Elks Park from noon to 6 p.m. This free event is a fun-filled afternoon of family activities, a bounce house, big slides, sack races, free ice cream, music, and a food truck on site. The Elks Community Party in the Park, Saturday, August 23rd at Elks Park. It starts at noon and is free.
Community Corner, presented by First Fed.
In some other news, let's check in with Sandy Keys and his weekend wrap-up next.
In a minor way, clusters of activities revived a bit. That started early Saturday morning with the report of an abandoned vehicle on Squim Avenue, and then just 90 minutes later, an abandoned vehicle was reported on Park Avenue. Half an hour after that, the same was mentioned along Squim's Woods Road. Then another cluster. We had 20 traffic stops the first 13 hours of Friday, and then a cluster of 16 more in the next 90 minutes. Grand total, more than 55 over Friday and Saturday. That brings us to a possible record low of only 2 vehicle accidents mentioned as of yesterday morning. One on Railroad Avenue, Port Angeles, Friday afternoon, and Port Williams Road, Squim, 12:45, Saturday afternoon. A third was mentioned, but it was at Old Oak Bay Road in Hadlock. The 2 known suicide attempts or threats were widely separated. The first was responded to midday Friday in Squim. The second was Saturday evening in CQ. 10 disturbances were investigated, plus a fireworks complaint at Atterbury Road. It might have gone unreported if it hadn't gone off at 1:12 yesterday morning, the area's prime sleeping time. There were burglaries in the 1400 block of East 1st, 2000 block of West 4th, and 800 block of East Willow. The weekend's 5 known thefts included a vehicle theft near 271,020 Highway 101. There were no domestic violence reports or harassment reports or even threats. But making up for that was the assault category, 4 of them, starting with one at a Burnt Mountain Road address in Beaver. The second assault in just a moment. The third was in Sequim, and the final assault, number 4, Saturday night in the 1600 block of West 16th. It was very easy for police to find. It was an encore performance. They'd already been there, the same address, regarding assault again, exactly 24 hours to the minute earlier. Sandy Keys, KONP Local News.
The Bear Gulch fire burning in Olympic National Forest near Hoodsport has ballooned to more than 8,400 acres. Containment still at just 3%. The fire first reported July 6th, burning in heavy down timber on steep rocky slopes near the Mount Rose Trailhead and Lake Cushman corridor. Despite recent rainfall of more than an inch, the blaze continued to creep and smolder, posing ongoing challenges. Evacuations are still in effect in Mason County from the sheriff's office there. Crews have been focusing on protecting the Staircase, Copper Creek, and Dry Creek areas, while helicopters conduct bucket drops trying to slow the spread near Mount Rose and No Name Creek. A major rescue operation saved 12 kayakers, including 6 children, after they were caught in high winds and strong currents last Thursday in the Salish Sea north of Orcas Island. The U.S. Coast Guard launched a 29-foot rescue boat out of Bellingham after getting a distress call via VHF radio at about 2 p.m. A state parks vessel and a Canadian shipwrighter crew with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police also responded. All 12 kayakers were safely taken to Orcas Island and no injuries were reported. Officials credit the VHF radio for enabling the rescue in an area that had no cell phone coverage. This is Newsradio KONP.
Price Ford has red, white, and blue Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs ready to roll during the Ford for America sales event. Give 0% APR, 0 down, and 0 payments for 90 days. If that's not enough, receive a 2-year complimentary maintenance plan on select Ford models. Come see Price Ford and take advantage of the 0% finance, 0 down, and 0 payments for 90 days during the Ford for America sales event. Price Ford, next to Walmart, always right on the price.
This afternoon on the Todd Ortloff Show, Clallam County Prosecutor Mark Nichols talks therapeutic courts, a recent mental health court graduation, and how bail is determined. Plus, Esquimalt Rib Fest. Tom Woods previews the big weekend there, and Peter Mill invites you to the all-community Elks Party at Elks Playfield.
Join us at 1 o'clock Monday through Thursday for the Todd Ortloff Show on KONP. Information to keep you engaged in your community with the people and organizations who keep it running. Sponsored by Dan Shappy, Farmers Insurance.
With more than 52 years of experience, Permabuilt designs post-frame buildings built to last. From barns and garages to workshops and storage, we create custom structures for any property, residential, farm, or commercial. Our team will work closely with you to match your goals and budget. Call 800-824-9552. That's 800-824-9552 or visit permabuilt.com to start planning today.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast, brought to you by All Weather Heating and Cooling. Daytime highs approaching 65 this afternoon under overcast skies with a slight chance for rain. Winds out of the northeast around 5 miles per hour. Cloudy skies expected again tonight. Lows level off around 54. Slight chance for rain tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 65, overcast skies. Mid-60s Wednesday, warmer on Thursday with highs in the upper 60s. Take a look at the extended forecast. 73 Friday, 73 Saturday, and 70 on Sunday. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently 64.
Robert Workman's take on national sports is next.
Baseball Sunday, the Reds beat the Brewers 3-2 in 10 innings, ending Milwaukee's 14-game winning streak. After coming from behind to win 8 of those games, it looked like the Crew had one more trick up its sleeve. William Contreras homered in the 9th to give them a 2-1 lead, but Cincinnati got even in the home half, and then Austin Hayes singled in the walk-off winner. The longest current streak in the majors belongs to the Atlanta Braves, who tripped the Guardians 5-4 for their 5th straight. Yankees thumped the Cardinals 8-4. St. Louis has dropped 5 in a row. Mets sank the Mariners last night 7-3 in the annual game at the Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Mookie Betts hit a tie-breaking homer in the 8th, and the Dodgers completed their weekend sweep of the Padres 5-4. Manager Dave Roberts.
I don't think anyone in that clubhouse doubted our abilities and how good we can be.
LA now 2 games ahead of San Diego in the NL West. Phillies overpower the Nationals 11-9. Alec Bohm with a 3-run bomb in his return from the injured list. Rangers hit 4 dingers in a 10-4 romp over the Blue Jays. Orioles kicked some Astros 12-0. Jordan Westburg homered and drove in 5, while Dean Kramer and the Seinfeld scattered 6 hits. Marlins got 9th-inning long balls from Dane Myers and Jacob Marcy to take out the Red Sox 5-3. Twins tamed the Tigers 8-1. Brooks Lee with a grand slam. Wins for the Cubs, Rockies, Royals, Giants, and Angels. Scotty Scheffler came from down 4 strokes at the start of the day to beat Robert McIntyre by 2, winning the BMW Championship, his 5th tournament victory for a second straight year. First guy to do that since that Tiger Woods fellow. And it put Scheffler in line for back-to-back FedEx Cup titles, something no one has ever done. The champion will be crowned this coming weekend at the Tour Championship in Atlanta. That's Monday Sports.
Bathfitter is celebrating 42,000 installations in Western Washington by offering you monthly payments as low as $125 a month. Hooray! Custom fit tub and shower solutions are installed in as little as 1 day, and every installation is backed by a lifetime warranty. Choose Bathfitter Northwest because they work here, they live here, and they love making bathrooms better for their neighbors. Visit bathfitternw.com to schedule a free consultation. This offer won't last long.
Hi, this is Mike from American Rare Coin and Gold in Sequim. Do you have a house project needs doing but lacking the funds? Now is a great time to sell gold, silver, or rare coins. Prices are at an all-time high. We love to buy coin collections, gold and silver jewelry and bullion. We even help with entire estates. You could be sitting on a literal gold mine. Come see me, Mike, at American Rare Coin and Gold in Sequim. Call 360-968-4943.
At United Way of Clallam County, we believe in a future where everyone can reach their full potential. That is why we mobilize our community to support over 20 local nonprofits that provide key resources to those in our community that need them. From Sarge's Veteran Support in Forks to the Free Clinic in Sequim, United Way is there to amplify the caring power of our community. Donate today at tinyurl.com/UnitedWayClallam.
Olympic Game Farm is the place for you. Better than the circus or a day at the zoo. There's llamas and there's lions and a race for you. Olympic Game Farm is the place for you. Say hello to a buffalo, stick out his tongue. This place is just amazing for the old and the young. These zebras or a tiger might catch your eye. They've even got a bear who'll wave goodbye. It's so much fun, so bring your dad and your mom. Look us up at onlygamefarm.com.
Newsradio KONP Business.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Just ahead of Wall Street's closing bell, stocks are barely budging after President Trump and Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky expressed hope that today's summit, which included European leaders at the White House, could lead to trilateral talks with Russia's Vladimir Putin to help end his war against Ukraine. But still, investors are being cautious. And right now, the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P all just a tiny fraction lower. Shares of GoodRx, though, are soaring, up nearly 37% this hour on news that Novo Nordisk is cutting the cost of the weight loss drug Ozempic in half and partnering with GoodRx to offer that medication in U.S. pharmacies. The Federal Trade Commission is suing Key Investment Group, which does business as Epic Seats, for allegedly bypassing Ticketmaster's purchase limits, buying hundreds of thousands of concert tickets and reselling them at steep markups, even to Taylor Swift shows. And to say thanks for faster service and shorter wait times, all salaried workers at Starbucks stores are getting a 2% raise this year. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
Last check of the noontime traffic next.
At Angelus Furniture, right now you'll save big on bedding you can't afford to miss out on. These sales are limited to stock on hand. The Serta iComfort Eco Plush California King mattress is only $14.99. The Simmons Beauty Rest Select Full-Size Firm is only $4.49. A Queen is just $4.79. And a King Firm and Medium is $6.49. There are only a few left at these prices. So get the refreshing sleep you deserve tonight on your new Beauty Rest from Angelus Furniture.
Leeds Farm Supply and Equipment Sales has huge savings all month long. Buy any brand new tractor and get a free implement worth up to $1,000. Pick any trailer 2025 or older, and Leeds will cover your tax and licensing. Warm up with clean, burn wood pellets at $5 a bag and home fire logs for just $1 each. Save on fencing, hydraulic fluid, even Montana Silversmith jewelry and Montana West bags. Up to 35 25% off. It's all happening this month at Leeds Farm Supply and Equipment Sales.
News Radio KONP, traffic and roads.
Back up to Clallam Transit Dispatch Center, and that's where Steve's looking at the traffic for us on a Monday afternoon. Good afternoon, Steve.
Hi there. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, busy. Yeah, a lot of traffic out there right now, both Port Angeles and Sequim, through the downtown Port Angeles area. Pretty steady all the way through, both First Street and Front Street. So expect a little bit of slow going, especially in the downtown area. Some delays at the stoplights. Same thing in the Sequim area. Just a fair amount of traffic along Washington Street, and then down on Cedar Street, 2nd and Cedar. Those areas, they are pouring concrete and the curbing, so that is causing delays if you're off on that side of town a little bit. If you're headed beyond the Sequim area, Hood Canal Bridge is scheduled to open any minute now for marine traffic, so that should be done by the time you get there, but there'll probably be a lineup still. The ferries, though, are running on time so far this afternoon. If you're headed out to the west end, we're doing pretty good all the way out to the Forks area. We have our construction areas that have been there for a while. We're really not causing much of a slowdown, but be careful as you make your way through those construction areas. Other than that, just light to moderate traffic out there and moving right along at the speed limit. So everybody be safe out there this afternoon. Enjoy your day. This is Steve reporting live from Clallam Transit for KONP.
All right, thank you, Steve. And look for clouds to, dissipate today, then increase again tonight. Good way to put it. And then maybe some rain tomorrow as well. But then by Wednesday and right through the weekend, going to be back to summer with sunshine and mid-70s. So there you go. Currently it is 67 in Port Townsend. We've hit 70 now in Sequim, and it's 64 out at Fairchild Airport here in Port Angeles. Well, a recent spike in road deaths has the Federal Highway Administration looking at speed limits. ABC's Wayne Cabot has more on that.
Its first update since 2009 questions the long-standing unofficial rule that sets the limit at the 85th percentile of what drivers actually drive on a given highway. Transportation officials say that causes a feedback loop. People speed, and then limits get raised even higher. The new guidance suggests states consider danger to pedestrians and the frequency of crashes. Madison, Wisconsin this summer lowered local limits from 25 to 20. A similar move in Seattle brought a noticeable decline in serious injury crashes and speeding. Wayne Cabot, ABC News.
Well, on the other hand, North Dakota just became the 9th state to hit the accelerator this summer, pushing the gas to 80. In Texas, you can go up to 85. A family in Laverne, California, warning residents about unwanted house guests roaming the area after they came face-to-face with a mountain lion inside their home. Here's ABC's Tim Caputo.
Jeff Tenney was in the kitchen of his mother's house Saturday afternoon when the big cat just strolled in.
And then out of the corner of my eye here, I see and feel the large presence.
Tenney couldn't believe his eyes, standing just a few feet away from a potentially ferocious wild animal.
Peeked around the corner in the dining room, and we locked eyes, and for a moment, and I knew it was the lion.
That moment only lasted a second because the mountain lion wasn't interested in remaining a house cat and darted out the back door.
Through the 1970s and 80s, Kodak employed more than 145,000 people, and Paul Simon wrote a song about his most popular film, Kodachrome. Even after Polaroid introduced the first instant cameras in the late 1950s, the Eastman Kodak Company remained the world's leading film company. But this year, Kodak will observe its 133rd and possibly its last birthday. I'm Kim Commando for Oracle. In business, you can have better, cheaper, and faster with Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. Try OCI for free at oracle.com/Kim. It's shocking when you think about it. Seemingly overnight, no one needed film. But it wasn't overnight. It was a few decades after Kodak invented the digital camera and management saw little value in it. It's a familiar story. Sears should have been Amazon. Kmart should have been Walmart. BlackBerry should have been the iPhone. Pure legendary mismanagement at work. Start your day with my free newsletter, so this way you're always tech ahead. Sign up right now at getkim.com. In business, they say you can have better, cheaper, or faster, but you only get to pick two. But what if you could have all three at the same time? That's exactly what some of the world's most innovative brands and AI tech companies have since they've upgraded to the next generation of the cloud, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. OCI is the blazing fast platform for your infrastructure, database, application development, and AI needs, where you can run any workload in a high availability, consistently high performance environment and spend less than you would with other clouds. So how is it faster? OCI's block storage gives you more operations per second. Cheaper? OCI costs up to 50% less for computing, 70% less for storage, and 8% less for networking. Better, and test after test, OCI customers report lower latency and higher bandwidth versus other clouds. This is the cloud built for AI and all your biggest workloads. Right now, with zero commitment, try OCI for free. Head to oracle.com/Kim. That's oracle.com/Kim.
I'm John Tesh, and coming up, why do we have some of our most intense emotions while watching movies? I'll share the science next in today's Intelligence for Your Life Minute.
If you have back-to-school shopping to do, then you should make Macy's your first stop, because Macy's has back-to-school styles from brands like Nike and Jordan, must-have denim from Levi's and Good American, and now Macy's has Abercrombie Kids too. It's all in one place, all at great prices. And here's another reason to come in. If you're already at Macy's and you saved so much, you could stop by the fragrance counter and pick up something for yourself too. The best back-to-school styles are here now at Macy's.
So why is it that we get so emotional while we're watching movies? Well, psychology professor Dr. Jeffrey Zaks researched that question for his book, Flicker, Your Brain on Movies. Here are some of Dr. Zaks' findings. First, films impact us through mirroring. That's when we copy another person's behavior, whether it's their body language, tone of voice, or their expressions. Many studies show that mirroring is how we evolved to bond with each other. And the size of a movie screen matters. Our emotional reaction correlates to the size of the screen. So if you're watching Titanic on a giant IMAX screen, you'll experience Titanic-sized emotions. And then movies tap into our emotions through music, sound effects, and unexpected plot twists. That produces what's known as supernormal stimuli, which means all of our emotional buttons are being pushed at once in a way that can make even the most stone-faced person sob, scream, or laugh. I'm John Tesh with today's Intelligence for Your Life Minute.
This afternoon on the Todd Ortloff Show, Clallam County Prosecutor Mark Nichols talks therapeutic courts, a recent mental health court graduation, and how bail is determined. Plus, Esquimalt Rib Fest. Tom Woods previews the big weekend there. And Peter Mill invites you to the All-Community Elks Party at Elks Playfield.
Join us at 1 o'clock Monday through Thursday for the Todd Ortloff Show on KONP. Information to keep you engaged in your community with the people and organizations who keep it running. Sponsored by Dan Shappy, Farmers Insurance.
Hi, this is John Hull. I'm president of Tri-State Roofing, your local and family-owned company covering the entire Olympic Peninsula area. The difference with Tri-State Roofing is we separate ourselves with the quality of products we offer, customer service, including an A+ rating with the BBB, solid safety plans, and the best labor guarantees around. Call 360-208-2222.
Tri-State Roofing, we got you covered. From the straight to the sound, Newsradio KONP, Port Angeles Squim, is celebrating 80 years serving our community. A Radio Pacific station.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Optimism is driving talks today between President Trump, Ukraine's President Zelensky, and European leaders at the White House, all agreeing the war in Ukraine needs to end. The head of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, echoing other EU leaders calling for an immediate ceasefire.
We are here to work together with you on a just and lasting peace for Ukraine. Stop the killing. This is really our common interest. Stop the killing.
President Trump, after meeting with Russia's leader in Alaska Friday, says his goal now is working toward lasting peace. ABC's Rachel Scott has more.
We heard the president repeatedly warn in the lead up to that meeting and that summit that Putin would face consequences if there was no agreement reached. The president now seems to also be backing away from that as they continue these negotiations. Notable that the president also said after this meeting today, after the president does meet with Zelensky and also with these European leaders that are going to be here at the White House, he's going to be calling the Russian leader once again to figure out if the three of them could get in a room sometime this week or in the future.
The president says the U.S. would also offer Ukraine some type of security guarantee outside the NATO alliance to deter Russia from attacking. Washington, D.C.'s Mayor Muriel Bowser, who has been working with the Trump administration after the president federalized the local police department and ordered National Guard troops to the nation's capital, now pushing back after 3 Republican-led governors in Ohio, South Carolina, and West Virginia agreed to send more National Guard members to D.C. to help fight crime. Bowser says crime in D.C. has been on the decline and criticized the move.
This doesn't make sense. You know it doesn't make sense. The numbers on the ground in the district don't support 1,000 people from other states coming to Washington, D.C. You know that.
Bowser says it amounts to Americans patrolling Americans. On Wall Street today, stocks ending mixed. You're listening to ABC News.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was.